No, whatever's easier for you.
Everybody ready here?
Okay.
Thanks for your patience. Apologize for starting a little late. Can everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Okay. A motion to open up the town board meeting for June 7th, 2021.
Cologne to make the motion.
Bingham to second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Ankarolo, aye.
Good night.
So moved. Community announcements. Town of Monroe Food Truck Festival. Sal?
Okay, so June 19th, I believe, not this Saturday, coming up, but the following Saturday, O&R Park, which is our normal new location for the Food Truck Festival, 11 to 7 p.m. We have a full array of food trucks on hand, a full array of dessert food trucks on hand. We have live music all day, and the benefit of the day is the Community Foundation of Orange and Sullivan County. So please come out and support. It's going to be a beautiful day. Supervisor will be there, the whole town board will be there, so come out and support us that day.
Thank you. Okay. Constant contact, just a reminder, if you haven't signed up already, whether you're out there in Channel 22 listening or you're out here, sign up through our secretary, my secretary, Jen Snars, for constant contact announcements.
I believe we are going to try to have a tent set up at the Food Truck Festival.
Yes.
Too.
Yep.
By the Chamber of Commerce is going to set up a tent, so that'll be hopefully the first tent as soon as you walk in will be them, so please sign up to Constant Contact. It's very important.
Sherry Ann Pochat, you here? She's not here. Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda is the continuation of the public hearing for local law A, version 1, amendment to chapter 57 in the town code to regulate rental properties and transient housing. I'll make a motion to open that.
Second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Ankarolo, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved.
No public comment?
No public comment. Mike, did you want to speak on the adjustments made to it?
No, I mean, I'll take a pass at this time. I mean, I think we kind of talked a lot about it the last meeting, so if anyone else on the board has any thoughts on it, then we're not at final draft yet, right?
No.
Yeah, not even close, right?
No,
Well, not
I
even
think
close,
we're close.
We're getting
I
there,
think
yeah.
we're close.
Yeah, no, I'm so far what I see, I think is good. I think it strikes a good balance between, you know, what the folks that are running the short-term rentals are looking for, plus what the community needs. Quality of life. I think it looks.
I made my comments last meeting, and I still think we should have the driveway back onto public road frontage and some kind of a sidewalk from the driveway to the entrance of the home. So those, and Mr. Nugent had also sent a letter, so that should be incorporated too.
Okay.
Each home that is part of it should have a sidewalk from the.
Safety, people should not be walking on the grass. They're coming home late from some kind of event to Airbnb. They don't know what the lay of the land is. And unfortunately, Monroe is rather rocky and hilly. So there should be some kind
should
of
have
a
a walkway,
pathway,
absolutely.
a walkway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Rather than. Not us.
Never us.
Noted. I'll make a motion if nobody else wants to speak. Anybody from the public want to speak? I'll make a motion to keep the continuation of the public hearing for proposed local law A-version 1, amendment to Chapter 57 to regulate rental properties and transient housing to the June 21st meeting at 7 p.m. or immediately thereafter.
On the second.
Call the question.
Am I?
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Angarello, aye.
Aye.
Okay, so moved.
Mr. Supervisor, I know that he included the FEAF form for, are we taking any action on that?
Short term?
At a short,
You have to wait.
till the hearing's over. Okay, I just noticed it was in there, and I just want to make sure we're not, I hadn't spoke to the planner, so just want
I think that's already been sent, but we then would close out secret once we're ready to adopt.
Thank you, Mr. Nugent, appreciate that.
Okay. Make a motion to open up the public hearing for the proposed Arrow Park Water District.
Bingham to second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Angarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay. So I know a lot of you are here to speak on the Arrow Park District. If you haven't signed up, just come up and give your name to the deputy clerk up front here. Val?
Julia Cole.
Come up, state your name, where you live.
My name is Julia Cole. I'm president of Arrow Park, Inc. I'm just want to say that I hope that you will consider the water company transfer as it is would be very good for the taxpayers in the town to take over the water company for us. Thank you.
Alexandra Dervunk. Sorry.
Welcome to sit down if you want.
If you like, it's okay.
Just state your name.
Hi, my name's Alexandra Derevnik, and I am in my parents' home that was built in 1953. I'm a member of the Board of Directors of Arrow Park, and my father was the first manager of Arrow Park, and he was one of the people that bought the whole entire place. So my home is up the hill, and we've been paying taxes to the town of...
When you say up the hill, can you just state
the Arrow Park Community Homes that are supplied by the Arrow Park Water Company is a group of around 26 to 28 homes from the bottom of the hill, which is First Avenue, and
Right.
up, and a little bit below that is the well and the pressure tanks and all that. And up the hill are the rest of, we gradually go up this hill.
What street are you on?
I'm on First Street. My
Okay.
address is 317 First Street. I'm
Okay.
almost at the corner of Second Avenue. And there are times that I've had zero water. In addition to when all the pipes broke last year, we didn't have water for 10 days, twice. We had to get water trucks. But there's been many instances all throughout these years of us having no water at all. And that's one of the reasons why we are pleading with you to please absorb us into your water district, or whatever technically it's identified as. We have a petition that has been signed by over 50% of the water company users, and we need, the water company people need an infrastructure, because the pipes are falling apart, they're breaking, they're 70 years old, and it requires a big infrastructure overhaul, and we cannot get a grant the way you guys can get a grant in order to help defray the gigantic cost of this. That's one of the other reasons. And we want to have constant water. We don't want to have to live in fear as, it's July 4th weekend again, like last year, am I going to have water? So that's basically what I wanted to explain to you a little bit without taking up too much time, because we have some others that want to speak. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for hearing this.
That's all that I have signed up right now.
You just state your name and she'll write it down.
I'm going to make this real sweet, simple. Raise your hand if you're taking a shower, well, some of yous don't need conditioner or whatever.
Hey,
But how many of you up there, you can sympathize, you're taking a shower and all of a sudden it's like drop after drop when you have shampoo in your hair. And this, I'm lucky, I'm closest to the well. So I really don't have nothing basically to complain about, but these are all my neighbors. And every time I go up the hill, they look at me and they go, I got no water. I got no
Because you're
water.
using all the water.
yeah. You're using all the conditioner.
Look, see this? Come on. See this? I'm in a Navy shower for 4 minutes and I'm out.
Pretty good hair ahead of you.
It really does. It really
Look,
does.
Look, ha ha ha. But look, what I am saying to you is think about it. You put your kids in the shower, you can't rinse them off because there's no water. So that's as simple as I can get. Try taking a bath with no water. You might as well go out to the street. I have puddles that you can take a shower in quicker than that. So to me, this is it's cut and dry, man. It's cut and dry. This is, to me, where I grew up, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. All right? It's like betting on LeBron in the finals, man. You're gonna get money. So like I said, I don't have a big problem with the water, but I do. But my neighbors, who I'm concerned about, and I deal with every day, and there's no reason. They're paying a water bill, and you put the faucet on it, and it's like sand is coming out. So think about it, man, especially you.
Yes, sir.
All right? But that's all I am going to say, because that is the biggest issue. The inconvenience, and this has been for years, and I don't see how this is something that can just be blown off with bureaucracy. I just don't even see it. If you can't fathom it, well, I'll lose respect for all you guys on this panel. I really will. So that's it, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right? Thank you.
Anyone else want to speak?
Talk about my hair, too?
No, I'm not going to bother you about that. My name is Richard Warnick, and I live on 2nd Avenue. And I've been living here for about 25 years. And in the time that I've lived here, having moved from Brooklyn, I've seen the systems go down. Too numerous times to mention. I see that water truck outside more often than I care to admit. And it's hard to believe that we're in an area living right next to the golf course, which has every amenity imaginable: water, sewer, gas. Several years ago, we did get gas, the O&R, to run the gas lines, and that was like a minor miracle. I ended up going to every neighbor, many of whom I've never met, and telling them, listen, I'm tired of this oil, tired of the systems breaking down. 100 feet away from our backyard, I know that that community has natural gas. Why can't we have it? The answer was you can have it, but you need to hook up with a lot of other people. We went around the neighborhood, and many people did agree that it was time, and we got that done. That was an uphill battle, but it's done. We have natural gas now. Next is to have reliable source of water. And with all of our neighbors, or many of them, living in probably more affluent communities, enjoying that service, it would be something that I hope we could all enjoy. We are all taxpayers here. Our taxes have increased substantially, and it would be something very welcome for all of us to be able to enjoy and not to have to worry, especially the older folks that live in our community, that when they turn on the tap, the water's going to come. I was so concerned about it, and having traveled to New York City very often for a job when I was working in the city, we ended up getting a pump. And without that, I wouldn't feel any sense of confidence whatsoever. But because we have that, we know that at least if it's running dry, we're going to have water for maybe another day or so. It takes that long. But it's something that we can really use, and something that we would most appreciate, and something that a town like Monroe, I think, deserves. There are communities around us which seem to get everything they want. We don't, and we're asking for it. And I hope that you guys will consider and help us push this through, because it's something I think many of us would be overwhelmingly overjoyed to have. So I thank you. Thank you.
Thank
all
you.
for-
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No? Okay. So, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Just real quickly, I don't want to interrupt you, but this board has, I think, been very responsive in trying to get this district established so far, and we're not certainly standing in the way of it. And I kind of was getting that a little bit of a vibe from some of you, and that's not the case. We're trying to work with you to get this done. And listen, what the problem that you're experiencing is the problem that every private district, and I'm in one of them, has experienced over the years, where contractors came in, they built developments, they built wells and an infrastructure, mains that then soon crumbled, and the town wound up inheriting them. And we're gonna work with you to get this done, but we are all been in that same boat at one point or another. And so, we're not the bad guys here. We're trying to work with you to get this done. But there's a process, and we're going to try to work through that process, and hopefully you won't have to worry about, taking a bath and the kids getting cleaned and you coming home and all that happening. But again, you're probably not going to find a more responsive group of people than you have up here to help you with that. So just so you know, we're not the bad guys here. We're trying to help you.
Yeah, we just went through that with, not too long ago, with another water district. And the problem is with some of these private concerns, they don't do the maintenance. And then they leave the ratepayers, or they, worse yet, abandon the ratepayers. And that, I think, is another example of what we have. We don't want to leave you folks without water. That's the last thing. But with the process, there's laws that we have to be careful of, and has to go to Department of Health and so many other things. But we will not impede in any way you getting any water. That's the last thing that would be on our mind. I'm sorry, folks, if you want to say something, please step up to the mic. No, because it won't pick up on.
Wait. Let us go through, and then I'll have you come back up.
All right.
Mary?
So I wanted to say, I do have the plan and report that was provided by Magui Hauser and Etzel, and there is a lot of work that needs to be done, and yes, it's going to be a financial impact, but if you are a municipal water system, you will definitely stand a much better chance of getting some grants or financial aid. So just to be clear, the improvements will be replacement in kind of the existing water main. However, the water main will be in a new trench as compared to the existing. The well house will have to be replaced as the building is in poor condition. Magui Hauser Etzel also anticipates designing that replacement. And you also need, as Councilman Colon was saying, rules have changed with the state. So you're going to need one more well, because in order to comply with the New York State and New York Department of Health regulations, that's something that you need. You need a backup. Because if something happens, heaven forbid it gets contaminated by something, you'll have nothing. So there is a lot of things that we are considering. It's all necessary. We don't see you being extravagant and, living in McMansions and having sprinklers. You're very middle class, average citizens. You need some kind of grants or some kind of support. And you also need somebody who's going to be able to do all the checking for all the Department of Health regulations that say you need to check for all these possible things, your chlorine levels, your contaminants. And we have some wonderful workers now in the Highway Department who can do that. So yes, we definitely would be able to help you. We just need to go with the process. And I understand very well, Mr. McDonald, you understand. You probably saw me many a time come before prior town boards trying to get Water District 12. Yeah. Didn't you watch Channel 22 many years ago? when I was trying to get Water District 12 put in? Well, I'll show you the box I have at home of all the times. There are minutes and you're a transportation corp, so you have to deal with the PSC. So there's documents that, you like to read. I'll let you read mine. But we will work with you, and we will try to get this done as expeditiously as possible. But he can't hear you.
Yeah,
You're not at the
wait.
microphone.
We'll let you respond if you want afterwards.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope.
No? Okay, so from my perspective, I got a call from Nadia Perry. Is Nadia here? Okay. Okay, so I got a call from Nadia Perry 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And we had water districts that were in disrepair. Mary's district was one of them. And as much as I wanted to address it then, we had to get our water department, so to speak, in the highway and the water districts in order. Now, there's no bureaucracy in this. So you're totally wrong with respect for that comment. But there's a process, like Mike had said, and there's legal hurdles that we have to go through. The thing to me that is most important is once we get all the numbers in, okay, and we feel, okay, let's say that I'm throwing numbers out here. Let's say it's $2.5 million to complete the whole thing, and we only get a grant for, let's say, $750,000. You're looking at bonding 1 3/4 over, let's say, 30 years. There's quite a bit of money associated with that. And I will tell you that when Water District 14 was approved, everybody was in favor of, we want the town to take over, and now with all the charges that they're seeing, and this was before my time, when the process went on, when the process was initiated, the numbers were different. So now they're complaining about it, but I have nothing that I can do about that at this time. You're in the district now. There's people in that district, and I think there's 1 or 2 EUs that have private wells.
No.
There's nobody that has a private well in there?
Well, there's 2 houses behind that were not a part of the original water system that have private wells.
Okay, all right. So they're not in the district. Okay. So over on Center Hill, there are some people that have private wells that are in the district. They didn't want to get rid of their private wells, so they're essentially getting taxed or paying twice because they're getting taxed for being in the district, not for using water, but for the infrastructure cost. So that's important to me, and we're going to keep this public hearing open for another meeting at least, because we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity, once we give the numbers, that everyone's okay with it. I'm even going to discuss with our council that we send a letter out and get a response from everyone associated with it, with the particular costs associated with the district. So that everybody's on the same page here. I think all 5 of us want this to go forward. And I think that it's important that everybody understands where both sides are coming from. So, Mrs. Cole, you had something you want to say? Come on up. Just to wait till you get in front of the mic to speak. Otherwise, we're going to hear from our media guru downstairs that he can't hear.
Now I'm confused about which way I should start. So, yes, and just so you know that we did have, when we went to have the petition signed, because as the operator of Arrow Park Water, we discussed the costs associated with a grant and without a grant. So they are fully aware of the potential costs. And for Arrow Park too, I mean, it's going to be a fair amount of cost. We're going to be assessed for 3 separate properties in your district. So it's a considerable amount of money. And I fully want to have the district move forward, because it's sad when people call me and they don't have water, and they don't have water for a week and a half. And you're right, Mr. Colon. I mean, we should have been maintaining, but for years, people weren't working with the Public Service Commission and getting rate increases, and so basically Arrow Park was subsidizing all of the testing, all the monthly testing, all the things, and we didn't really have money. And there were people who were, I've only been president of Arrow Park for 3 years. There was a board of directors prior to us that were, they just argued and they never really got anything done. And at that time, we really financially weren't in a position to do it. Although had we upgraded the plumbing in the 80s or the 70s, we would be, not here, but it didn't happen.
It's costly.
Right. And unfortunately, because the maintenance was deferred for so long, and now we're actually getting rates that are, reasonable, where we can put money aside and we can pay for, repairs and maintenance, and the water company is fully paying for all of the testing and everything. But every time we get a little money,
something breaks.
It breaks.
You're not unique. This has happened all over the town and all over the county with these community wells that were put in. Listen, the superintendent can tell you what he's seen, and we've all seen over the years, and Mary and
I feel bad because I feel as them who are the consumers. I'm not the consumer of Arrow Park water. I was when my grandmother lived on 2nd Street, and I would go there, and even in the 70s, it was pretty bad. And they never did anything about it then. And so it's just continued and got worse and worse and worse and worse. So, but I can't say what it's like to not be able to take a shower in the morning.
Just please understand that we're on your side, and we want everyone in there to have, water. We're not going to stand in the way.
And I really appreciate it, and I thank you all so much for working with us and continuing the conversations, and it's really appreciated. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Else?
Can I just say something to embellish everything? There's a few facts.
State your name again,
Okay,
please.
I'm Alexandra Derevnik, and I'm at 317 First Street, and my house is up the hill from where the well is, and I don't get water pressure often. And since COVID, I've basically been here the whole time, a year and a half almost, and it's really been pitiful. And when I had to see my neighbor who lives down the hill, across the street from Kevin, washing her hair at the water truck in order to go to work and feel presentable, it was a tragedy. So I just wanted to remind all of you that we pay our taxes. Arrow Park is a few hundred acres up until recently. Up until 2008, we downsized to 75 acres. But before that, we were paying you, the town of Monroe, and property taxes and school taxes as if people lived on every inch of those hundreds of acres. We've been paying tons of money to you. Over maybe $200,000 a year in taxes. All those years when no one was really using what other people use when they pay taxes. It was empty land. Now it's preserved, a chunk of it, most of it. But I'm just reminding you of that. And also, this may not mean anything, but the last time I was here at the Town of Monroe board meeting when Jeff Rosenfeld was the president, God rest his soul, I came with Susan's mother to protest the golf course being built because guess why? We thought the golf course was going to use up all our water. It may or may not be. We have nothing to prove it. But ever since the golf course came in, the water has been worse. And that's a pretty long time. But all of you approved the golf course being built because they pay their taxes, I guess.
Oh, well, just so you understand, none of the people here, maybe with the exception of Rick, were on this board to approve the golf course.
No, I understand that. That was a long time ago.
No, I know, but you made a statement that all of us approved the
I
golf
wasn't here
course.
even. That was
Rick was here.
I'm sorry.
Rick wasn't there either.
Okay.
Yeah, right, that was long before any of our time.
Okay.
And listen, I don't even know how they're set up. I know they have their own little reservoir system for watering
Yeah.
and all that. But I mean, again, without knowing for sure if that had any impact. I mean, listen, I'm sure whatever secret and whatever was done for that golf course was done, plus most of it falls within the village, which supplies water to the residences anyway. So, just, listen, we understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
And we
okay.
understand that you
I
pay
just felt-
taxes. Listen, we all pay taxes.
Yeah, I don't want to get too emotional, but this is such
the
an
taxes,
emotional
again, the
topic.
taxes that you paid were not taxes paid for a water district. You had your own water district. So I get it.
I know.
And I know what you're saying, but those taxes went for street maintenance and a million other things that, and we have no control over school taxes.
And
So,
remember,
listen,
Thank you.
your taxes, only about 12% represent town taxes.
Oh,
The rest are
okay.
county and school.
Okay. But we have been paying our taxes, and we're not asking for anything for free.
Oh, I understand
Being
that.
involved
And
in
we're not fighting you on it. And
Okay.
Rick made a point that
Yeah.
you got to remember the water that the golf course uses, not the houses there, but the golf course uses, is not potable water.
Okay.
It's not drinkable.
Well, somehow.
So please don't try to drink that water.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Ray. You got it out. Yes.
Please.
But we just wanted to be more emphatic, but thank you for listening.
No problem. Our
No
pleasure.
problem, our pleasure.
Thank you.
our pleasure.
Okay. If no one else wants to speak, I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing for the proposed Arrow Park Water District on June 21st at 7 PM or immediately thereafter.
Cologne, a second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Gangrel, aye.
Good night.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all very much for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated. It's nice to see people out there who care about what's going on. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm gonna break up the agenda after we accept the minutes. Noah, you'll come up after we accept the minutes. So if you want to come up and sit down now, Noah. Item 5.1 is the acceptance of the May 17, 2021 minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll
Cologne,
second.
Hold on a second. Any changes, alterations, adjustments, corrections? No? Okay, call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Gangrel, aye.
Good night.
Okay. Acceptance of the May 20th, 2021 minutes, which essentially was me, right, us three?
Yeah.
Okay. That was to set up the public hearing tonight. So I'll make a motion to accept those minutes.
I will second.
Call the question.
Bingham, abstain.
Abstain, Cologne.
Cardone, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved. Okay. Noah, you're up. So Noah is in the process of creating a dog park next to our former dog shelter as his Eagle Scout project. And he had some suggestions, and he's got a fundraiser in place, so I asked him to come down to make a presentation. So the mic is all yours. Just state your name, where you live, and what you're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Cardone. My name is Noah Sakaros, and I live on 80 Rye Hill Road in Monroe. Good evening, everyone. It's great to be back here talking in front of the town board again. As Mr. Cardone said, I'm working on my Eagle Scout project currently, which was approved in the March 15th meeting to construct a brand-new dog park for the town of Monroe. And that's not what I'm going into specifically today. More so, I'm going to be discussing my fundraiser event for that project, which is this Saturday at Crane Park. It is the first ever Monroe Dog Walkathon. Now, some of you might have seen this image floating around on the Facebook page, Monroe Matters, or even on the front of some local businesses at the ponds or in other places. I've been getting the word out to a lot of people, planning a lot of events for this. We got a lot of fun activities planned. We have Sergeant Krause confirmed, Officer Melissa Burke and Officer Keene will be doing some canine demonstrations there. I think Mrs. Bingham, on March 15th, you suggested that I look into some agility companies and having them do some displays. So we actually have a company from a neighboring town, Skyline Agility, and they're going to be bringing some personnel and some dogs, and at 12 p.m. they're going to show up and provide some demonstrations for the guests as well. 1 p.m., we have judging for a costume contest, which I already have Mayor Dwyer agreed to be a judge for that. We're going to have the photo booth, and in addition, I'm going to be selling some water bottles there for the attendees while everyone's just enjoying the day, walking around the pond with their dogs. But what I really wanted to get to today was the dog licensing. So that was something I brought up March 15th, and I understand Clerk Mrs. Beams, I believe it was, showed interest in having people get dog licenses at my event. And I understand that it's a motive of the town to get more people, more dog owners in this town licensed. So, I mean, with the dog walkathon, it just made perfect sense. So I understand that the current fee to get a dog license in this town is $10, $1 of that going to the state. So my request was that the board waives the $10 fee and minimizes it to the $1 fee with the goal of bringing out more people to get their dogs licensed and encouraging more donations to the park. So, and I believe at the event, I actually spoke with the deputy clerk, Valerie Bitzer, is that on this? And we're gonna have a table set up for her. I actually spoke to her about having this image at the bottom there, love your pup, license up, right in the front of it, putting her out in the open so people see her, and making sure she has everything she needs on Saturday to attract a lot of dog owners to get licensed. So I'm open to anyone's suggestions.
Oh, I will make a motion to...
Supervisor, can I just interrupt a second? Again, I believe this is for new dog licenses.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to make a motion to approve leaving the $9 for new dog licenses. It'll be only for the one-year license, and $1.
Second that.
I think it's a great idea.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Question?
Bingham, aye.
Go on, aye.
Own aye?
Ankarello, aye.
Good night.
You're set.
Thank you all so
You
much.
never
Noah,
get-
listen, let me
Noah.
tell you something. That
Wait.
presentation you did when you
Excellent.
first came before us, that was one of the, again,
Yeah.
one of the best
Well done.
presentations that we've ever had. Better than like engineers, and it was very well done. You're a very well spoken young man, and again, another great presentation this evening, and wish you a lot of
Well thought
luck.
out.
One thing regarding your presentation,
Yes.
I need you when you go home to thank your mother because she gets all the credit for it, all right?
Believe me, it'll pay off.
16 years,
Listen to him.
16 years in the making.
Yes, you're very well spoken, Noah.
You have your
Thank you,
public
sir.
speaking
Thank you,
merit
sir.
badge?
What?
You have a public speaking merit badge?
I actually haven't taken that one, though.
Take
I
it.
mean, it'll probably be,
I think you can put this on it.
maybe,
right.
yeah. Look into it. Mr. Manson? Yep.
Oh, that's it.
All right, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for-
very
All right,
much.
thank
Thanks.
you, Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
Looking forward to it.
Hope to see you all there.
All right, sounds
All right.
good.
Hold on one sec. All right.
Need a shoe phone or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Maxwell Smart or what?
Exactly. General, next item up is general fund abstract. So, June 7th is the date of the audit for it. It's abstract 21-09. Claims were $592,165.70, and that includes checks 27040 through 27143.
591,000.
No, we also have
Oh, you're including
check
the 637?
transfer number 337, which is $638.57.
So that's your 70 cents.
Yeah, yep.
Thank you.
So, motion to approve that.
Bingham?
Second.
Bingham, well, all three signatures on that? Because I wasn't around to sign
I
anything.
was.
You was, okay, all right, just, you know me. Call the question?
Seconded it.
Mike.
Mike did, okay. Call the question?
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Pancarello, aye.
Aye.
Okay, so moved. Okay, next item is the escrow abstract, check numbers 1974 through 1976, totaling $10,618.20.
Make a motion to accept.
Cologne, a second.
Question?
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Pancarello, aye.
Aye.
So moved. Next up is a road opening abstract. Be resolved, the town board requests approval of abstract 21-04 road opening. That's a refund, John? Yep. For $2,000, which is check number 1296.
Cologne, make the motion.
And
Move to
that,
second.
that's going back to Richard Hernandez.
Right.
And it was a refund for his road opening. Call the question?
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Pancarello, aye.
Aye.
Okay, so moved. Next up is the town board requests approval of abstract 20-01, which are budgetary transfers. There's a description on your page. With respect to that, the total is $60,000 in transfers, $20,000 for the ambulance, $10,000 for dial-a-bus, $5,000 for the senior center, and $25,000 for highway. So I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Second?
Second?
Now.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Pancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved.
We did the dog.
Done. Food truck festival is done.
Supervisor, do we need a resolution
We
for
need
that?
thank you, Val. So we have to approve Town of Monroe Food Truck Festival will take place on Saturday, June 19th, 2021, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Town of Monroe owned land located at O&R Road. This community-oriented event will honor the Community Foundation of Orange and Sullivan counties.
I will make that motion.
I'll second it. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Pancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay. We did item 8.2. Item 8.3. Okay. This is an HEO hire for the Highway Department. So the motion would be to approve the hiring of Craig Lundgren as heavy equipment operator, Highway Department, at an hourly rate of $29.08. He's been pre-approved by employment from the Orange County Department of Human Resources, and his water license is pending. I'll make the motion to approve.
Bingham to second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Pancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved. Item 8.4, part-time seasonal laborer for the Highway Department. We need to approve the hiring of Jack Chatfield for the position of seasonal laborer, Highway Department, for the period of June 14th through November 30th, 2021, at an hourly rate of $19 per hour, following the part-time employment guidelines not to exceed 20 hours per week or 1,040 hours per year.
I'll make the motion. Cologne, make the
Second.
motion.
Seconded by Councilman Cologne. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Pancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved.
I'm sorry, who made the first, who motion made
Rick.
the motion?
Rick.
And who second?
Sal.
Rick and Sal, thank you.
Okay, item 8.5 is the approval of a seasonal laborer for our maintenance department, and he will also work with Smith Clove Park. The hiring of Michael Wilson for the position of seasonal laborer, maintenance department, Smith Clove Park, for the period of June 14th through November 30th at a rate of $18 per hour. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Pancarello, aye.
Good night.
So moved. Item 8.6 is part-time bus driver with dial-a-bus, to approve the end of the furlough period and return to work for a dial-a-bus part-time bus driver at Luis Melendez and Ernst Iristel at an hourly rate of $22.74.
Second for discussion?
Yeah, Ernst has already been back with us for a
Yeah.
while.
And so they were both part-time before,
They were both part-time before, yes.
right, before they got furloughed. Okay,
Yep.
I thought so, but I just wanted to check on that. All right. So I'm second for discussion. Any other discussion, or?
Discussion? Call the question?
Hingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Stone, aye.
Ankarello, aye.
Can I?
Okay, so moved. So we need to just discuss the hiring of an additional full-time driver to accommodate the ridership increase at Dial-A-Bus. The hourly rate for a full-time bus driver is $17.94. So you have a letter in front of you from the Dial-A-Bus supervisor, Tomm. And in February, we had 551 riders. In March, 1,111. April, 1,249 riders. And 8 days into May, they're already over 550 riders. He's coming out of the pandemic. He sees the need for it. We did lose a full-time driver at the end of 19. Right? Yeah, at the end of 19. So we haven't replaced. That's
Soon none of the part-timers are looking to go full-time, or?
No.
Okay.
Okay, that was just a informative piece of the agenda.
Not taking any action?
No, because we don't have,
We don't have anyone
we
yet
don't have anybody in place yet.
Does he have to,
licensing.
we don't have to take out an ad yet or
No,
anything?
no,
Okay.
yeah, there's nobody in mind yet.
Oh, okay.
There's no objection, right?
No.
No, okay.
Ridership increasing, it's definitely necessary.
Okay. Item 8.8, the collective bargaining agreement from Dial-A-Bus. Someone has to make a motion to authorize the town supervisor to execute the full collective bargaining agreement, which runs for the Teamsters Dial-A-Bus unit running from January 1, 2020 through December 31, 2022, in the final form approved by town legal counsel. This has been an ongoing issue, trying to get this done by the Teamsters. Brian has been on it from day one, and they finally came through with the final agreement.
And just so the board understands, the MOA was signed back in February. The terms were agreed upon and executed. This is just now incorporating those terms into the full document, the collective bargaining agreement. So just a formality to sign it.
So basically, it's only the highlighted portions in our packet that were changed. There really weren't.
Yeah, that's correct.
I'll make the motion to authorize the supervisor to
And Cologne, a second.
Question?
Hingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Stone, aye.
Ankarello, aye.
Okay. Item. Board for 12. So there were a total of 10 bids received, and the bid opening was last week, June 1st, 2021. So the bid amounts are listed in ascending order. Jury Excavating, who is currently working up there, bid $438,300, and it's McGooey, Hauser, and Edsel. Has, what I understand, background check done, so they can work on starting the water main improvement.
$1 million under the highest one, I would say that they're a pretty strong contender at the moment, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Those are some real a wild swing of numbers.
Well, it's because they're whispering their number, that's why.
Well, even the other ones, it's quite the
Whispering.
difference.
And because there was that wide discrepancy, I did reach out to Sean at Magui Hauser Etzel, and he again reached out to Jory and said, "You sure you understood everything that you put in the bid packet, you can do it?" And they said, "Yes, we, gave you the best bid, and that's why that number is there." They do
Sure. You
due
also have-
diligence. They did their due diligence in providing the bid.
And you have two
And
others.
they've been working up there to be
Yes.
prior, right? Or
Yeah.
currently?
They're working on the pump house.
Right.
Yeah.
And so far, no complaints?
No.
Seem to be very thorough?
I'll tell you, they start before 7 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
$1 million.
Next item is,
Well, we have to award the bid.
motion.
and-
oh, I'm sorry, yeah. So I'll make a motion to award the bid to Jory Excavating as per the approval of Magui Hauser and Etzel for $438,300.
Bring them to second, but with a footnote that I live in that water district and would benefit.
You got to live somewhere.
Okay with that, Brian, right?
That I live in the
Lives in the
water
dis-
district. I made a full disclosure that I live in the water
Yeah,
district.
you don't, we've discussed that. As long as it's disclosed, there's no abstention required. It's out there.
Okay, call the question?
Bingham, aye.
All right.
Varone, aye.
Ancarello, aye.
Aye.
Okay, so moved. All right, next item up is the Townsend property. So Greg has, hold on, let me just get to my section in the agenda. Isabel Townsend has offered to donate 2.3 acres of property located in section 29-1-22 in the town of Monroe. It abuts current town of Monroe property that is up by Lake Mabesha, and essentially we just have to approve this. The only other aspect of it is that when this was originally presented in 2015, and you'll see there's a letter from a former attorney here, the town board kind of didn't finalize everything. So,
Shocker.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, when I had spoken to Isabel's, I guess Greg is the executor. Our assets, I said to him that the town would discuss in some way, shape, or form, giving back or
We don't know why it wasn't done. And did they come back in the meantime, like in,
yes, he's come back, he came back in the end of 19 and approved it. And I reached out to him.
this be parkland?
Parkland, yep.
2018, 15, with
No, 18, 19,
3 years.
not, I mean, you could see the amount, basically, you're looking at dollars a year.
I mean, I'm only asking only because, the letter from Tomm and Associates
Yeah, no.
is dated November 4th, 2015.
Yeah, so you got 2018 is 113.60, 2019 is 114.45, 2020 is 190.18, and then 2021 is 189.48.
Malone, second.
Discussion? Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Varone, aye.
Ancarello, aye.
Okay, so moved. Thank you.
A quick question for Mr. Nugent. How long do you think it'll take for the deed and for the paperwork to be filed with the county?
Shouldn't take long, but I'm going to have Steve Honan of our office, who does the real estate, I'll pass this on to him, and we can start the process. You know, usually we would recommend the town, which is in the resolution, have a title search on the property, just to make sure there's nothing you're not aware of before you take it. But I don't think it'll be long. I mean, I think something like this is less, than a month.
Next up is the Verizon Wireless situation on 40 and a half Bar Lane. So we're looking to post a have them post a
This was a condition of the planning board's site plan that the town board, that a bond be posted for removal of the equipment, and they provide a recommendation of $15,000, but typically the town engineer has to review that and determine whether or not that number is appropriate. So I think there's not much the board can do without input from Sean Arnott, to tell you if that 15,000 is reasonable or not. And I don't think you've gotten anything from him. So I would just recommend we...
Yeah, I'll reach out to Sean tomorrow.
Yeah, and then we could put it on for next time.
Yep.
For approval.
Make a motion to table?
Second.
Question?
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Stone, aye.
Pancarello, aye.
Okay. All right. Next item is the FEMA payments. So, John, did you want to explain this a little bit? I mean, I'll explain it, but...
Basically, FEMA sent us another notice that, we were paid for jobs that were performed. The last time we went through this, Mr. Nugent wrote them a letter stating that I was not superintendent of highways at the time, and basically that, yes, the work was completed to the best of my knowledge, so we was prepared to send them that same letter. And this way we don't have to owe them any money.
Okay, so here's the situation. So Finance went and tried to ascertain whether we were paid, and they cannot deny or confirm anything associated with it because the numbers don't match with anything. They went back to Irene and Sandy, 2012 and 13, and there's just nothing there. And none of us, well, Rick was here, but John wasn't here, I wasn't here.
Nope,
Even Helen couldn't say what anything was. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to reach back out to them and ask for money that might not have been, approved, especially since we don't have any documentation. There was a box of blue folders that pertain to everything with, regarding FEMA, and right now it's what?
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
It was quite a bit of money.
yeah, it was quite a bit of money.
Well, that's a scary thing. They're saying they paid us, or whatever the case might be, and if we don't have no documentation of that either, it's, nor do we want to owe them money if I don't send them the documentation that they want from us, saying that the work was completed.
Well,
We never-
after you get your letter saying, yes, we accept it, maybe then we could say, oh, send us a copy of the
Yeah,
payment.
let's see the payments.
Yeah.
Something. I mean,
Yeah.
Do you know if any of the work was done, or is that an unknown also?
we assume the work was done.
I remember with Hurricane Sandy, we had quite a bit. It was like 260-something thousand, I think it was, in work.
A lot of money.
And then we got hit with the second one. But we don't have any indication if we were paid?
Oh, I think you know you were paid on that one, I'm 90% sure.
That went all through.
I think you're paid, the question is, they want you to certify that it was
They want you to
expended.
certify that
Certify that the
you
work was in
completed the
fact
work.
done. Yeah.
Correct. Now, I can't justifiably say I can certify that all this work was completed, but I can say, to the best of my knowledge, I'm pretty sure it was
You
completed.
can't say you certify it because you weren't there at the time.
I was working. I was
you were
I was a
working, but
worker.
you-
I was not a boss.
Right, you are not a supervisor, so you can't certify and say,
Right.
absolutely, but to the best of your knowledge, yes, in fact.
Yeah, last time we put qualifying language when we did this, just saying that, the circumstances, that he wasn't the person in charge, but, to the best of his knowledge, the work was completed, and that's kind of how we handled it last
I
time.
accepted that as an explanation. So,
Okay.
I mean, I was,
The only issue would be if you think that you have the money somewhere and never actually spent it, then they're going to ask for the money back.
Right, but there was a lot of damage done during Sandy.
Yeah, a lot of culverts had to be fixed, and
I remember that. You should know. You were working on a lot of them, John.
Oh, God.
So,
Yeah, he's speechless.
speechless.
Okay.
so
Next item up.
do we need to take any action?
No, there's
Oh,
really no
okay.
action to take.
Because John would be the one signing, so he doesn't need a resolution.
All right, old business. So town hall summer hours. We got some input from all the departments, and it was kind of decided that the summer hours would be Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 4:45, a 30-minute lunch, and then town hall would be closed on Friday, and that would begin for the pay period starting on June 13th, and most likely end the week.
Basically the same.
It's a little different because we didn't do anything last year, but the year before.
2 years ago.
2
Last
years
year,
ago,
yeah.
2 years, what we did is, we didn't start earlier, we went later, and we didn't cut lunch. So they still had an hour lunch, they went to 5 and 6 o'clock. 5 o'clock, I think. Was it 7? Oh, it wasn't 7, it was 6 o'clock, yeah.
And that was 2 years
I
ago.
didn't mean to scare you there, Val.
I would know if it was 7.
Yeah.
Val's memory is very good in regards to that, yes.
So, I mean, I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Hingham, aye.
all night.
Cardone, aye.
Ancarello, aye.
No,
Okay, so moved. Next up is the assessor's lease.
Motor vehicle.
There's a mix here. So basically, what it ends up being is $2,000 down due at signing, $204 a month, 10,000 miles a year. There's the DMV fee, which is extra, and obviously, we're tax exempt. You have,
Just 3 years?
3-year
this
lease.
is a 3-year lease. You have the sticker in front of you. The car is $25,000.
2020.
$140. It's a 2020, and it's a black metallic Chevrolet Trax.
4x4, 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Essentially, the similar deal that Rick had got, the only thing, it's $8 cheaper per month. Well, no,
More than that.
$12 cheaper a month.
12, I thought it was.
No, I think yours was $216.
Yeah, about 216.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve that.
On a second. It's a great deal. I don't think how we can go wrong.
Call the question.
Hingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Ancarello, aye.
Okay. Next up is the O&R Sorority Bond. John?
Basically on Brian, and as long as he's happy with the wordage right now,
Yeah, we've already reviewed it and responded to the town. Our only suggestion is that somebody calendar, this expires in April of '22, just to remind O&R of the renewal. Otherwise, the forum is good.
Okay with everything with it, John?
Yes, as long as the board is okay with everything,
Yep.
absolutely.
It was $100,000?
That's correct.
That's what you said the village uses now also. They have like a
I'm not sure,
blanket phone?
I'm not sure what the village uses. I know there was some towns that do floating bonds. I believe Curious Joel is one of them. I talked to Zolman a little bit about it. This is something, $100,000 for a project. Listen, it doesn't go far, but it's at least something, and it's there, because they do a lot of little projects. Just a little road cut, a 2x2 section in a road, like on Linden Lane. At least if they don't fix it right, you can, pluck a couple grand out of it every now and then to make sure it gets fixed properly. And we're still in the process of fighting with them on the Cromwell Hill project, trying to get a timeline on when the finished product is going to be done. So
That's gas main over there?
that was gas main,
Yeah,
and
gas
they're
main.
supposed to come back and actually mill that and blacktop it. So with that 100K, at least you can grab that if you need to, and do it ourselves if we have to, to keep the people driving on that road happy.
Before the weather changes?
Before the weather changes,
Yeah.
yes. And Franklin Avenue has been a mess for, over a year, I bet, and it looks like that's ready to get the finished product. I don't want to be waiting over a year for Cromwell Hill,
As long as you're good with it.
Hold on a second.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Ancarello, aye.
Good night.
Next up is Light Touch to approve.
The new lighting system for Town Hall.
So I was talking to someone I know that is in that field, and while they said that they thought that since they're doing the engineering and some of the install and the product, reasonable price. I don't know if this is something that we want to try to get another estimate on, or if we just want to, or if we're at a point where we need to get
I
this
just
done.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. That's local. I know that's a local company. But again, I was just texting with them. As you well know, I don't text when I drive, because when you text me, I don't answer you back. So, but anyway, that aside, so at that price, and I guess really a lot's going to come down to what our own electrician is going to have, what our own electricians are going to cost us to do that. Right. Yeah, that's separate from the actual spec. So, anyway, that's where we're at.
Reach out to maybe anybody?
I spoke briefly.
It's kind of a niche, it's definitely a niche industry, and so there's none in Orange here. I mean, there's the one in Orange that that we might contract out with, and,
Don't
so there's
forget,
Jersey, they're out there, but they're not.
a lot of our equipment is obsolete. We can't even get parts for them, so I think that we're
Well,
better
yeah,
off.
that's why we're getting kind
Yeah,
of.
we're between a rock and a hard place on this, so I don't see any.
Yeah, well, listen, I just wanted to report what I was told, and,
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
Okay. We'll approve the pricing last month. Ralph, do you have the actual numbers last month?
Packet last month.
Last month's packet.
Anybody have their minutes?
Yeah, I got it, Mommy.
Oh, it was a whole presentation.
39 and change, and then it was 39 and change, and then there was like have to.
But it came out to 50-something.
Last meeting. Oh, I got it. I got it right here. No, there's no numbers left. Item 7. All right, so,
Want to do not to exceed?
yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Let's go not to exceed, it was in the high 30s because he took.
39.
Yeah. So let's go not to exceed $41,000. Give us a little buffer there. And then as far as the, doesn't include splitting of the room.
Extraordinary talent and negotiation skills to get them to sharpen their. You can do it. You're like the negotiator, like William Shatner from Priceline. You know, I know.
I always said I wanted to go Christmas shopping with him.
Yes, 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 yes.
He's the guy I want to go Christmas
Yes,
shopping with.
yes.
You take this guy to the jewelry store,
Oh yeah, yeah. He pulls out a monocle.
you're winning.
Yeah, jeweler's
You're winning that
monocle,
war.
yeah.
Better hurry up and the prices really go up.
Exactly. Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve it. The Life Touch contract with a cost not to exceed $45,000.
5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up 41. 41.
All right.
4,000.
I got to negotiate here with them.
No, it's,
41.
You're not gonna exceed that, so.
I will second that.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardona.
Ancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay. So moved. Okay, item 9.5 is the streetlight policy, which we approved in a form back in 19, I think it was. A form that was good to council. Council had a couple of things that he was working on. Unfortunately, it slipped through the cracks, and
Again.
Trustee Hool in the village and I had a conversation about this, and I followed up with council, and he sent us the resolution regarding those streetlights. So I'll read the, now therefore be it resolved, the whereas clauses are incorporated herein as set forth fully herein. The town supervisor, in conjunction with the town engineer, town highway superintendent, is hereby authorized to direct Orange and Rockland Utilities to deactivate streetlights on town roads other than those streetlights providing light to intersections, streetlights providing light to cul-de-sacs, and streetlights identified by the town engineer and/or town highway superintendent as being necessary to remain active due to safety considerations that warrant maintaining such streetlights as active in and upon town roadways. Section 3, the town supervisor is hereby authorized to take any and all necessary actions to carry out the provision of this resolution. And Section 4, the resolution shall be effective immediately. Call the question.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cologne. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cancarello, aye.
Good night.
So moved.
And a quick question, the LED lights?
What's that?
The LED lights, street lights?
Yeah, we're doing conversions with O&R. We got away from,
That's still
Yeah.
in the works, okay.
yeah. Hey. Public comment.
Board Brower?
Good evening. Ward Brower, private citizen / Conservation Commission. First question to Mike. When's that Article 14? When is that coming up again? The grandfather clause.
That was
approved.
See, I didn't even get that.
What's that?
I didn't even.
I can't understand you, Ward.
I know. I can't understand myself. But that's the liability of wearing these masks. When was that passed?
Probably, you're going to say about a month ago?
Month ago, month and a half.
It wasn't long ago. About a month, maybe 6 weeks ago, we passed it finally.
Yeah, because
it didn't change in the form that it was in. It was, nothing, no, I mean, you can look at it. It's,
Okay.
It got sent up to Albany. It's now,
Good.
yeah.
I fell
So it's
through
good
the
to go.
cracks. Fell through the cracks here.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's done. It's on to bigger and better things now.
Good. Next thing was when the speakers from Monroe Park were talking. The one lady got up. she picked the wrong board. The board involved was the planning board with the Mansion Ridge. The town board had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, we know.
So that's the trouble with the public. They get confused. They blame one board for another board's actions.
Sure. Yeah.
Another topic was we see this constantly now with the treatment plant in Harriman running out of problems of capacity and restricting development. And when Steve Newhouse was here, about a year and a half ago, and I made the suggestion that we're running out of streams and rivers to contaminate, start recycling. And I was conversing with a classmate from high school who lives now in Georgia. They had this problem when he moved in. So they had to recycle the water, recycle it many times. Then they ran into the problem that Mike pointed out. They had to go to reverse osmosis. Very efficient, very expensive. The downside of that was when you get drinking water, it has bad chemicals potentially in it, but it also has good chemicals. Reverse osmosis removed all the good and the bad. Then they had to go back and supplement the diet. So this is something that we're going to have to come to terms with. And I made at the Moodner Basin Commission, this topic came up probably about 9 months ago. And some of the people didn't want to touch it. I said, well, listen, we got to address this problem because it's a problem that's going to get worse, not better. And about probably 25 years ago, I had a lecture, or I attended a seminar by a guy named Dr. Schaefer. And he had a couple pilot programs down in the state of Florida. They ran that water problems. What they did was they did recycle that. They would treat the water like we do in Harriman. But when they had pipes coming, as sewage coming back. Then they had return pipes. That return pipes had water that was treated. But remember, they just treat for pathogens. They don't get out the heavy metals and all that. That water was then went through a system of irrigation where first they started irrigating the parks, then they went to agricultural use. They did it in the aquifer areas. So you let nature and the microbes in the soil do what nature's been doing. And Schaefer's point hit me really hard. He says, basically, except for a couple of astrological events when we have a comet or something crashes in here with frozen ice particles, most of the water that's here has been here since the time of the dinosaurs. It's been recycled over and over again. We just have to get back into that thing. And we're getting to the point where the Harriman treatment plant is not cheap, and we have to start thinking about recycling. If I made the point to Mood Innovation members, they said, well, it's going to cost a lot of money. I said, everything costs money. But development has to take place. And it's been my experience in my brief time of going to meetings of 40 years, that when you put it as a parameter, if you want to build this X number of houses, you have to recycle the water, and the money will come and the water will flow. And that's really where we are. I think we have to get to that point. I think Steve Newhouse is on board. Most people who are rational say, we got to address this problem. We can't run away from it. And that's pretty much about it. Thanks for my indulgence with my muffled mask.
Oh, thank you, Ward. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ward.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ward. Appreciate it. Anyone else? Nope. Would you have nothing to do tonight, Jeff?
I thought this would be more interesting than watch the Yanks play the Twins. And I'm happy I was correct.
I take it the Yankees are losing?
I don't know yet, but because I'm here now, I don't have to worry about it.
Catch the highlights in the morning.
All right.
I will second.
Question?
Aye.
Malone, aye.
Aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Aye. Or anyone else, or like cousins, because she said it was Shanty Irish. So what happens? Everybody and their mother calls me Mike again.
We're on.
You weren't
You know.
saying that. You weren't saying
But
that.
that
2
was her
months
thing.
ago.
But we didn't have the housing
Yeah.
market this time.
Oh, making.
No.
It's gonna,
Yeah. All right.
hey, I'll be the first one to change if I see the weather's changing.
Oh, I know. All right. I'll make a motion to come out of executive session back to the town board regular session.
Bingham to second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Malone, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
And I.
Okay, so moved. So, after the executive session, there was no decisions to be made. Thus, I will make a motion to adjourn the June 7, 2021 meeting.
I will second.
Any other discussion? Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Malone, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Aye.
Okay.